Hey guys, it's Lainey and today is Top 5 Wednesday. Today's Top 5 Wednesday topic will be our second hardest Top 5 Wednesday topic to do of the year, and that is because it is June, so we are in the 6th month out of the year. We're doing the same topic we did last June, top 5 books we've read so far this year. I like to be difficult. But before we get into that, I'm first going to be shouting out one booktuber and one blogger who participate in Top 5 Wednesday. For the booktuber, I'm shouting out Rebecca from Why Mermaids. She is so energetic and so funny, and I love how much energy she brings to her videos. And for the blogger, I'm shouting out Kieran from Book Bitch Reviews. I have been following him for a while and I think he's really great. And Kenya and I actually convinced him to read one of the books that is featured on my top 5 this week. So let's get started with my top 5 for this week. Coming in at number 5 is Killing Sarai by J.A. Remersky. Kenya told me to read this and she knew I would probably love it, and I do. I absolutely love this book. It's a new adult, but it's so much more than just a romance book. It has action and it has violence and gore and killing, and it's basically Mr. and Mrs. Smith in book form, and I love that movie. Totally absorbed this book in a couple days. I could not get enough of it. After I finished it, I was pissed because this was the first book out of 5 I needed to read before I could buy more, because honestly, if I had the second book on my bookshelf after I finished it, I would have picked it up right away because it's just so good. Coming in at number 4 was a book I read earlier this year, and that is 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. What I loved about this book was that it came at a complete surprise to me. I wasn't sure how I was going to like it or if I was going to like it, but I was blown away by how much I so loved this book. There's a little bit of everything for everybody in this book. You have some futuristic aspects, you have some historical aspects, and you have, the modern day. And I think to combine all those great things into one book is so awesome. Coming in at number 3 is Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. Was hesitant to pick this book up. I read the second book last summer, and for some reason it just took me a really long time to pick up the third book, and then I know that some people were kind of disappointed in it, and then I was just kind of putting it off more and more, but finally I picked it up back in March. I might have an unpopular opinion, but I absolutely loved the ending. I think it ended exactly how it should have ended for the characters and the story. What was great about this book was that it was a complete roller coaster ride for me. Like, I was really excited at some points, and then I was just like completely devastated at other points, and then it just... Coming in at number 2 is The Winner's Crime by Marie Rutowski. I really should be talking about this series more because it's one of my favorite series, but I don't ever talk about it, and I don't know why, because I love it. What happened with this book was that I absolutely fell in love with Marie Rutowski's writing style and the way she writes and the way she builds scenes and intensity, and I was so immersed in this book for the entire duration that I read it. I didn't want it to end. I think I liked the sequel more than the first one, and I really loved the first one. Coming in at number 1 is a book that I have an arc of that I think Kayla still has, and it's not out yet, and that is, of course, A Book of Spirit and Thieves by Morgan Rhodes. This was the first book I read of the year, and so far none have come close to the feelings I've felt when I read that. It's such a great prequel series to the Fallen Kingdom series, which is my favorite series, as you guys know. I just loved the new characters that were introduced. I loved the back and forth between being in the fantasy world and being in the modern world. I'm so excited for the next book. It needs to be June 28th when the book is going to be released, so I can obviously get it, and then I'm going to be rereading it right away because yes. So that's it for my top 5 books of the year so far, and I'm sure it's going to be much more difficult for me to choose my top 5 books at the end of the year for the whole year. What are some of your favorite books you've read so far this year? I would love to know. Hope you guys all have a really great Wednesday, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye!